Hello everyone, and welcome to the inaugural video of this channel. I'm Alice, also known as the Grinning Gamer, and I'll be your host throughout the videos presented here. If you've made your way this far, that means you're curious what this page is all about. Lucky for you, I'm here to tell you just that. So, without further ado, let's jump right in and figure out what you have to look forward to on my page. First and foremost, we'll take a look at the passion that birthed this page to begin with. One of my favorite forms of entertainment, board games. Even before the foundation of the Grinning Gamer, I've always had a fondness for tabletop. The artistry, the complexity, the camaraderie, and just the hours of fun that a single box of cardboard and plastic can provide has always enticed me. And throughout the years, I've come to find that I'm certainly not alone. While in my younger years, I was lucky to get my hands on Risk or Monopoly, the staples of youth that dominated the market, nowadays there is a vast and flourishing market of board games at the disposal of the consumer. It has never been a better time to be a gamer, and a more difficult one. With potentially dozens of new board games and their expansions released every month, the market is absolutely flooded with choices, most of which, for the average consumer, can be quite expensive. At upwards of $60 for plenty of titles, selecting a new board game to add to your collection can be difficult, and sometimes, unfortunately, disappointing. Tearing into a new game with your friends only to find the instructions confusing, the mechanics unbalanced, or the experience lacking feels like even more of a blow when you've poured not just hours of your time to trying the game, but also a large chunk of money into what then is essentially just a rather expensive paperweight. At which point you're left wondering whether, in your haste to reach for the prettiest box or the newest game, you might have missed your chance at a hidden gem on the same shelf. One of the main goals of my channel as we continue to expand is to solve that problem on your behalf. Sure, you can go online and sort through reviews for hours on end until you pick the one with the highest rating, but nothing beats being able to lift the lid and take a look inside for yourself. On this channel, we'll be looking inside some of the newest, the prettiest, and the most underrated games on the market today and breaking them down to their base so that you can see what makes them tick. For each review, we'll break a game down to its basics and walk you through all of the relevant aspects of its inner workings. We'll start with the look and the feel of the game, the price, artistic style, and the presentation, and whether it lives up to expectations before getting into the meat of the meal. Objectively, we'll break down the rules and mechanics, a simple example of how to play, so that you can see exactly what to expect when you sit down at the table with friends and family. Then, I'll bring in my own opinions. You'll hear directly from me on my own experiences within the game, and those of my friends, and how it felt to sit and play through a game, or several, together. Lastly, we'll weigh the pros and cons, starting with the aspects where the designers succeeded best, and then sinking our claws into the failures of the system, laying them out for you to see. Once you have all these things in mind, we'll conclude our video with a simple rating of the game, and let you know whether we recommend it or not, and why. After that, the rest is up to you. To buy or not to buy? That is the question that I hope to help you answer. But that's not all we'll be doing with board games here. Far from it, in fact. Next on our list of excellent videos to expect is my series of instructional videos, the fast track to helping you learn the newest additions to your tabletop collection. Not everyone learns best from reading. Not to mention, some instructional guides and otherwise excellent board games can be laid out confusingly, or even incorrectly. Oftentimes, the best way to learn how to play a new game is by having someone walk you through, or by watching them play. In these instructional videos, we'll put the rulebook aside for a moment and instead visually and verbally break down how to play. By laying out the game on screen for you, I'll show you how to work through setup and take you step by step through the rules and structure of a turn, alongside on-screen examples so you don't have to miss out on anything. As well as reorganizing the rules and structure of the how-to into a more organic and digestible format, these videos will take the stress out of teaching your friends how to play by showing you the best way to present the information from the rulebook, or allowing you to throw on the video before a game to watch together. And for more complex games, I'll present example turns for you to follow along with at the table, so players can learn by playing through the motions. And for even more complex games, those with many options and moving parts, I'll be offering one more type of video to help you on your learning journey: strategy guides. For some games like Gloomhaven or Twilight Imperium, there are many different character options or faction options that each have their own unique style of play. This is always fun, of course, adding juicy variety to a system that makes it infinitely replayable and gripping. but it can be daunting for new players just stepping up to the table, especially alongside longtime veterans. Strategy guides will offer new players a solution to this problem. By walking a player through the core strengths and weaknesses of particular metas, we'll even the playing field, arming you with the knowledge you need to confidently play the game. These will never be full walkthroughs and aren't intended to give you all the answers to every scenario that might arise. Instead, I'll be pointing out the aspects of gameplay where your faction or character shines and telling you what kinds of decisions you might want to focus on without removing player agency or spoiling surprises. Together, these three kinds of videos will form the core of our content around board games, but that's not all I have to offer you. For those of you hungry for more or looking for a live, raw experience, we'll be live streaming game nights with friends, pulling out whatever board game suits our fancy, and letting you join the fun from afar. You can catch our playthroughs fresh on Twitch at The Grinning Gamer, linked below for your convenience, or if you can't tune in, then just keep an eye on our uploads and watch the video when it goes up on our channel. But I have even more for you. Now we come to the second pillar of this channel, and perhaps the one that I'm most excited for, D&D, or more specifically, the entire piecemeal lore of a brand new world right at your fingertips. But I'm getting ahead of myself. Let's start from the beginning, shall we? A long time ago, I wrote the first lines of the first lore of the wide and wonderful world of Venice. Now, after nearly 5 years of writing, tweaking, and expanding, a vast ocean of lore has risen from those first few drops of inspiration. Stories have arisen of gods and nations, heroes and villains, histories and futures, lies and truths. But there's a tragedy to this world. For what is a story without an audience? For nearly half a decade, I've kept this world to myself and the few players that have set foot inside of it. It's time for that to change. With Mythos Venezia, we'll do just that. Bit by bit, through this very page, I'll be bringing to you videos on the expansive lore of Venice and all that it has to offer. From the vast forests of Salica to the dusty deserts of Kettermorn, the reclusive moon elves of Lavalon, to the revered dragonborn of Albion, children of the gods. Walk with me through a world ripe for exploration. Dive into hidden cities beneath the waves and part the mists of the uncharted land of Tetra. Witness the power of the draconic pantheon, from the benevolent light of Surgaya, Lady of Fate, to the biting darkness of Evanes, Lord of Vanishing. See a new take on old lore, a reimagining of the births, histories, and cultures of the many races of Dungeons & Dragons, and encounter new peoples in lands that you've never seen before. And, best of all, pluck your favorite pieces of lore right from my videos and drop them into your own campaign for your players to discover, or use them to inspire your own writing. The world of Venice is bursting at the seams, begging to be shared. That's why I want to bring it into your home, straight from my lips in whatever way I can. The world is constantly expanding, with more to discover than any one person could ever hope to. But I'm just one person, a storyteller with so many stories to share. So if you like what you hear, consider supporting me. Like my videos, subscribe to my channel, share my content with friends, subscribe to my Patreon. With your help, this world will thrive, and who knows what will come of it in the future. And if the lore here isn't enough to sate you, if you'd like to have a helping hand in the forging of this epic project, then you're in luck. By subscribing to my Twitch, you can take part in my living lore Q&As, where you can pick my brain yourself about the details of this intense and intricate setting, and help lend your inspiration to my work going forward. There are dozens of holes yet to be filled, 100 stories still unwritten, and your question could be the one to guide the lines that I put to paper, your very own mark in my world. Well, all in, that's a lot of ambition for a fresh channel, and a lot of content for you all to look forward to. But as I've said, I'm just one person. I still have a long way to go to see this channel to the heights that I've imagined. But I'm determined to see my goal to completion, and I have a lot of energy in my tank. There's still far more that I want to bring to you than just what I've told you today, and even more ideas still waiting to be had. But none of it can be done without your support. Every like, every subscription, every tweet, and every donation is valuable to me and helps me improve this channel and ensure that I have the time to devote to bringing this content to you. Below, I'll be putting links to my Twitch, Twitter, and Patreon. If you have the time, please consider giving a subscription so you don't have to miss out on any of the fantastic content I have planned for you in the future. In the meantime, thank you very much for stopping in to take a look at my page. I hope you're all as excited as I am to see what's in store next. And I promise you won't have to wait very long. So keep a smile on your face and keep your eyes peeled. I'll be back very soon.